Sad news, but not completely unexpected given his age. James Earl Jones, the iconic actor, voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa, passes away at 93. He was surrounded by family when he passed away, apparently. The quote, "From the gentle wisdom of Mufasa to the menacing threat of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones gave voice to some of the greatest characters in cinema history." This is a quote from Bob Iger, who is head of the Walt Disney Company. A celebrated stage actor with nearly 200 film and television credits to his name, the stories he brought to life with a uniquely commanding presence and true richness of spirit have left an indelible mark on generations of audiences. He's been in Hollywood and show business for 60 years.
Wow, he was incredible.
He was in small town theater in northern Michigan, where he started. And he made it all the way to being a part of some of the biggest entertainment franchises in the history of this planet. I mean, I'm talking about Star Wars as Darth Vader. I mean, again, it was David Prowse was the guy inside the Vader outfit, but George Lucas decided he wanted somebody else to do the voice, and he wanted this is, again, a quote from James Earl Jones. George thought he wanted a pardon the expression, darker voice, and I lucked out. Nobody imagined Star Wars would become a blockbuster, let alone an enduring franchise and a cultural phenomenon as it is. He recorded all his lines in a few hours, and he was not listed in the film's credits, James Earl Jones. He said he was paid. Does anybody know how much James Earl Jones was paid for the movie Star Wars? I will take my guesses in the chat. How much was James Earl Jones paid for doing the voice of Darth Vader? $500, says John. Well, throw some up there, would you, Kim, please? I don't know. Kim's still praying and passing the plate.
I am.
500, says John Watson. 1,000, says Gordon Andrews. How much was James Earl Jones given for doing the voice of Star Wars? He recorded the whole thing. 10,000, says Sally. 125,000, says Brian. 3,000, says Big E. 250,000, says Tony. The actual retail price for the movie Star Wars, James Earl Jones paid $7,000. That is right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Is it because they didn't value a voiceover back then, or they didn't realize how big it would be?
I think if I had to get, first of all, they're trying to pay you as little as possible. They're just taking the role of Vader as a one-day affair. And the reality is that he recorded it all. So it's a quick, it's a session fee, plus you don't know how this movie's going to do. They're trying to bust you down, meaning the producers, and pay you as little as possible. And I think it's that simple. They had no idea it was going to be so big. And, he didn't. Mark Hamill said, "One of the world's finest actors whose contributions to Star Wars were immeasurable. He'll be greatly missed. R.I.P. Dad." So $7,000 in 1977 when he recorded it is worth $36,333 today. Thank you, Tony. That's really interesting. But even $36,000 is cheap, right?
Yeah. It's probably just scale is probably what he got paid, right? For one day recording, scale would
scale would be less than that, I think. But
in 77, I don't know.
Well,
who knows?
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's what I mean, it's a one-day recording still. It's like
one day recording it, I don't know that it even took him. It's not even a day, obviously.
No.
It was done on a small budget, and he spent a lot of the money on special effects and location costs, says Cranky Charcoal. Oh, interesting. Good knowledge. Thank you.
The creature department and all that stuff. They all the model stuff they did. Yeah. Oof.
James Earl Jones, born in 1931 in Mississippi. His father, Robert Earl Jones, left the family before James was born to become before he was born, and then he, of course, became an actor. His father, I think, was an actor in New York. Is that right? No. His father, Robert Earl Jones, left the family before James was born to become an actor in New York. Yeah.
Wow.
Check that, Tony, would you please?
Google it.
I don't know about that. I don't. But Jones's family moved from Mississippi to Michigan when he was 5, and that caused him a lot of emotional upheaval, they say, and it caused him to develop a stutter. His fear of speaking rendered him almost mute until he got to high school.
Wow, I didn't know.
It was a poetry teacher who helped him overcome his disability by encouraging him to read his poems aloud. The poetry teacher began to challenge me, to nudge me toward speaking again. Jones studied drama at the University of Michigan, served as an Army Ranger, then moved to New York. He was landing lead roles in Shakespearean stage productions, made his film debut in 1964 as the bombardier in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. There he is, backstage. In 1967, he was cast as a troubled boxer, Jack Johnson, in the theatrical production of The Great White Hope. That was a career-changing role for him. Won him the Tony Award. He reprised the role 3 years later in the film, and he became only the second African-American man after Sidney Poitier to be nominated for an Academy Award. So this is a guy who rose up during the civil rights movement of the 60s and 70s. Extraordinary. And by the mid-1970s, he was working steadily in movies and TV. And over the next 5 decades, he appeared in many memorable roles. He was in Alex Haley's Roots, The Next Generations. He was in Conan the Barbarian. He was the African king in Coming to America. And of course, he was in Field of Dreams. The list goes on, but you associate him with some of these various film and entertainment franchise legacies. I wanted to see if there was a quote from, I believe, Costner. Here, this is what I was looking for. Thank you. So much can be said about his legacy, so I'll just say how thankful I am that part of it includes Field of Dreams. If you've seen it, you know that the movie wouldn't be the same with anyone else in his role. Only he could bring that kind of magic to a movie about baseball and a cornfield in Iowa. I'm grateful to have been a witness to him making that magic happen.
Yep.
Here is James Earl Jones with a sense of humor about himself doing the top 10 list on the old Letterman show. Go ahead.
The number 2 cool thing when spoken by James Earl Jones.
Meow, 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 meow.
And the number 1 thing that sounds cool when spoken by James Earl Jones.
What's up?
That's just too good. As I say, it reminds you of a time. Really terrific. Yeah, he was great on Big Bang Theory, so you'll appreciate this. Tony and I had a big conversation about should we play the Big Bang Theory cut, which I think is really funny. And I did send it to Tony. And Tony said, yeah, I don't really like Big Bang Theory that much.
Pretty much, I don't like that show now.
Yeah,
but that episode was
scene,
funny,
dude. It's a funny scene.
And
I don't even watch Big Bang Theory, and I like the scene.
Yeah, it was funny. And the Carrie Fisher in that episode, too, is really good, actually. That one is good.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell, you'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.